Guys, Solana is absolutely breaking out right now. Just like we talked about recently in the last few videos, this SMC weekly support is insane. Look how it came down to the exact target we talked about. Bounced off it again to the T. You see this SMC moving average like this. Done the exact same thing last time after the SMC bot gave us a buy signal. Rally to the upside. Where did we pull back to? Exactly back to the SMC bot. Rally to the upside. Where did we pull back to? To the exact T, back to the weekly support. Now, some of the guys in the Discord actually nailed this, and they literally bought, as soon as it came in line with this green line here, they literally bought here and nailed the bottom. I got in a little bit late, but I'm still 115% up in profits. And of course, I've still got my spot bags that I've been holding from 2023. I put a buy alert for Solana at 23.94, so still got my spot bags. So let's get into it. Let's look, what's the price target for Solana? Where can it go from here? There's so much news that has just changed the game for Solana, and we're still not at all-time highs. So I think right now it's massively undervalued. Don't forget, when the news changes, price targets can change also. If President Trump comes out and says he's going to accumulate Solana, the whole price target game changes, right? Things change, news change, macros change, and so do the price target. So I'm going to talk in this video about why I think this could potentially push over $1,000. Still doesn't make it a 10x from here. Don't forget, guys. You know, if you're still holding Solana, obviously you're still in that sort of realms of hitting a 20x, 30x, depending on where you got in. But I think the upside's huge. Maybe this does apply to institutional investors who are maybe holding big bags or just looking for a 2 or 3x, right? I think we might see a lot of institutional money come into Solana that's been kind of sitting on the sidelines, maybe looking to diversify a little bit out of Bitcoin. Maybe you're up 5x, 6x on Bitcoin. You see a potential altcoin season coming. Could potentially be a nice play for institutions. Now, not financial advice, guys. Everything I'm going to talk about in this video is my own personal opinion. You should always do your own research because investing in crypto is highly risky and you can lose all of your money. So let's get into it. So bullish President-elect Donald Trump to sign executive order making cryptocurrency a national priority. I could do a video for an hour on all of the new headlines that I've seen come out recently about crypto and what's going to go down with Trump and banks buying, funds buying, BlackRock pushing it. It's just absolutely wild. The macro is insane. You know, we couldn't have dreamt of this last cycle. And we are looking like it's primed to carry on right into Trump's inauguration, into his presidency run. It seems like there's going to be a lot of laws being rolled out that are going to be very crypto friendly. There's loads of rumors about zero tax on some of these funds that are coming. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Another post here. Trump plans to create a strategic reserve of altcoins founded in the US like XRP and Solana. Not only Bitcoin, Trump is now planning to create altcoin strategic reserves. Okay, so we know that his family, his son, they're of a younger generation. They're involved in a lot of the altcoins, and you can imagine a lot of the people around him are telling him, hey, it's almost like Web3 is the start of the internet, right? You've got all these other companies underneath, Solana, Ethereum. We know Trump's been buying NFTs and launching NFTs for a long time. So you can just imagine the potential for altcoins if this gets approved. So it says here, the idea of an America First strategic reserve that would prioritize digital coins founded in the US like Solana. So the latest news that we've had, and XRP, if you've seen XRP, it's absolutely rallying off the back of this. And I would argue that Solana is still undervalued considering the XRP pump that we've had. We haven't seen that from Solana yet. So I still think we're going to see an explosive breakout on Solana. And I'm staying in my long positions, guys. I'm holding the long positions open. I'm still holding my spot, right? I only took 30% back in March. I'm still holding a lot of my spot Solana. And this is key, right? See where it says America First altcoins. So there's a campaign here that they're launching for projects that are born and raised in America will prosper, right? They're trying to say we want to inspire devs and innovators to build inside crypto. So what you're going to have an explosion of growth in the crypto sector over the next year or 2 years. You might even see companies moving to America to operate. Now there's rumors that they are going to slash the tax on the homegrown American projects. So there's potentially going to be no tax on those projects. Now, does that mean that people aren't going to have to pay tax on capital gains on those projects? I don't know. Okay, that would be insane if they were to come out and say there's no capital gains tax on Solana or XRP, right? Though the projects would just absolutely fly through the roof. So yeah, it looks like they're going to be introducing favorable environments for a lot of altcoins that are growing in America, and I just think we're going to see such an explosion of growth, man. And a lot of people didn't think Trump was going to come through with this. Even when I was talking about how this Trump narrative is going to change the game for crypto, a lot of people said, "Oh, do you really believe politicians?" And you know, I can understand where they're coming from. A lot of politicians do chat a lot of rubbish to get into power, but for some reason, I don't know. I believed that Trump was actually going to come through. And if you look at his family, his environment, the people he's around, he launched his NFT projects. You know, he'd actually launched a crypto product and made money in the space. Now, what do we know about a lot of politicians, especially Trump? They're business people. They like to make money. The family like to make money. They like to make money. It seems like a no-brainer to me, and it's also going to benefit a lot of the people around it, right? So a lot of the big, powerful people around him, BlackRock, you know, Fidelity, Vivek, Elon Musk, RFK, they're all holding lots of crypto, right? So they're all going to benefit. So it was a no-brainer for me. I would have been very surprised if he got into power, considering the amount of voters that voted for him from the crypto sector. He's fully aware of how many millions and millions of people are holding cryptocurrency, right? It's 300 million now, guys. It's not a joke. A lot of the country are you know, counting on your word. And I would have been surprised if he got in and just didn't do anything. But it's so bullish to see that they're planning to do stuff on day one as they committed to, right? So we've got another post here. Donald Trump to designate crypto as a national priority. Absolutely bonkers, including the consideration of a national Bitcoin stockpile. Okay, so this is from Bloomberg, right? Not just anyone. This is from Bloomberg itself. So we are expecting to see a massive. So the inauguration is in 4 days. We're expecting loads of news, loads of FOMO, potentially loads of money flowing in, depending on what's revealed on the day. Bitcoin is absolutely rallying. Altcoins are rallying. Now, is this going to be a sell the news event, or is it going to be a buy the news event? And, you know, that's a tough question. I would argue that we still haven't entered altcoin season, okay? So this is what happened last cycle in 2021. And we still haven't experienced that breakout, right? We're kind of here on the charts. We've had a consolidation. And we still could potentially push all the way up here, right? So this could rally all the way into 2025. So I would argue that it's potentially buy the news. I don't know how long it's going to go on for. We don't know what Trump's going to implement, right? We don't know if they're going to slash tax on capital gains for crypto. We don't know if they're going to create a strategic reserve, because if they create a strategic reserve, the BTC price might go up to 300, 400, 500k. Nobody knows, right? And anyone who says they do know what's going to happen is just guessing, right? So I have a strategy for either or. If we come down, hey, I'm in profits, I DCA out. If we go up, hey, I'm in even more profits, I DCA out, right? But I would lean bullish personally. I would lean, we've just got way too much going on in the macro. We've got BlackRock ETFs, we've got Fidelity, we've got you know, some of the most powerful people in the world. We've got countries and banks getting in. It's looking very good for Solana right now. So let's have a quick look at the chart. So we still haven't had a sell signal from Solana on the SMC bot. Okay, so I think we're going to have a very easy cycle. Not that it hasn't been easy enough already, right? It's literally institutions told us they were going to pump crypto, and they pumped crypto. There's been a lot of shakeouts. A lot of people got bearish here, you know, back in March. I mean, we took some profits off the table, but some people actually were calling tops here. A lot of people got bearish recently as well, and they actually started to sell down here. I saw Ansem, a lot of KOLs talking about it's finished, it's over, and it's very normal, guys, to have these pullbacks. You don't just go up in a straight line. You have pullbacks. Now, the reason I said it's quite easy for us is because we have this SMC bot, right? And look how it's rolling around, and look how it's holding up as support. Each time it gets tested, it's acting as support. Now, as a chartist, I would just trade levels, right? I would just literally trade the level. I'd say we've clearly got an insanely strong support line here that is trending to the upside like this. We can clearly see there's a pattern, and we don't have a sell signal, right? We're still on a buy signal from the SMC bot. So we can see we pump to the upside, we come back and test the SMC moving average. We pump to the upside, we come back and test. So I would imagine that we're going to pump to the upside and we're going to come back and test. And then are we going to pump to the upside and test again? And eventually, I think we're going to break through this SMC weekly bot, and the bot's going to give us a sell signal, okay? So that's something I'm going to be watching out for. Does it mean it's the end of the market? Absolutely not, guys. But hey, if I got in at $23 and the price breaks through this support at $400 or $500 or $600, I don't really care where it is. As soon as it breaks through this SMC weekly support, I'm probably going to sell all of my Solana, okay? Now, things might change because, hey, if Trump starts to accumulate Solana as a strategic reserve or as some sort of fund, there's going to be a DCA plan. There's going to be a DCA strategy. So they'll say we commit to buying, I don't know, 2% or 1% of, into Solana over 3 years or 4 years. And we're probably going to see it absolutely explode. It will probably have some sort of a pullback if that's announced, right? So you'll get some insane euphoria rallies to the upside. It would be very fast, right? Get a lot of FOMO, a lot of retail would be flooding in trying to buy Solana, especially those who sold last bear market, right? Who sold down here. Those are the sort of guys that flood back in. And those guys normally buy the top. And when you see retail flooding in, there's normally some sort of correction. The thing is, if they do start to accumulate insane amounts as a reserve, the new floor is probably not going to be below the current price, right? It's probably not going to be below the current price, because that would be over a 70-80% correction. And people will start to hold their Solana longer if the US government are accumulating or if there's tax benefits, right? So that's my sort of play with it. I'm going to keep an eye on this. I'm going to keep an eye on the news, the macro, but I'm also going to be watching this SMC bot very, very closely. And in terms of price targets, in terms of if we're looking at returns, so we got in at 23.94. So currently, if you put $10,000 in there, you're currently sitting on 91,000, so not too bad. And if you put $1,000 in at the time of the buy alert, you're on 9,189. So also not too bad. Now, if you were buying in, so let's work out our target. So my last DCA out target was around $500. So that would put us on, if you took the buy alert, that would put us on, well, it'd put me on over 208,000. Because I put over $10,000 into Solana, and if you put $1,000 in, you'd be on 20,000. And my target, Solana, was a low risk play, it wasn't a high risk play. I wasn't trying to make a 100x, I was only trying to make a 10x. So to make a 20x is doubling my target. I'm very happy with that, right? I'm not going to complain. Maybe I'd even sell at 500, but again, if we didn't break through the SMC bot and we're over 500, I would probably just hold, right? Because what have I got to lose by letting it? I'll let it see if it goes up, and if it closes below the SMC weekly, I'm out, right? And then it might just keep going up, and testing the SMC weekly, it might just keep going up. Hey, maybe we have a massive altcoin season this cycle. I have exposure to that, and I have a plan. As soon as we close below, I'll take my profits, and it might push up to $600 or $700, right? If you're getting in now, I guess this is really going to apply to whales. So the price is $220 at the moment. And so you're a whale, so let's say you're putting in 100. So the reason I say no for retail, because if you're retail and you're putting in 1,000 and it doubles in price, you're going to make 2,272. And personally, I wouldn't risk it, right? I wouldn't risk it. It's just, it's not going to get me out of bed making 1,000 in what? Maybe 5 months, 6 months, who knows how long it's going to take to double in price. But making a 2x just doesn't excite me, especially if I had low capital. But if I was a whale and you had 100,000, it's going to return you over 100,000. So money makes money in this space, right? And if you had $1 million, obviously it's 2 million. If it's $1 billion, it's 2 billion. Okay, so what I'm trying to get to you guys is a lot of millionaires would be happy buying Solana at this price because they just make a 2x, they make $1 million. Hey, maybe it 2x's in a month, like 4 weeks. We don't know what Trump's going to say, guys. It could 2x in 2 weeks or 1 week. It could 2x on inauguration day. Nobody knows. But to a millionaire, it's a fast way for them to make $1 million. For a billionaire, it's a fast way for them to make $1 billion, okay? So money makes money. I personally don't tend to buy things unless I think they can 10x. I recently did buy virtuals because I think it can 10x. I bought AI16Z because I think it can 10x, but they're kind of borderline, right? I'm expecting a safe kind of 5x, but they're borderline 10x. It's very hard this late into the market to find 10x low risk plays. That's why as we get more and more into the bull run, I tend to degen a little bit more, but with smaller amounts of money. I'm not putting in the same money I put into Solana or into Bitcoin or into Stacks or into Inge in the bear market, right? Or into Casper. I'm putting smaller amounts in as we go into the bull run, and I'm buying more high risk things like AI agents. I'll buy some AI agents that have like a 1 to 10 million market cap, but I'll just put in a lot less money. If you do find a low risk play, they do pop up every now and then, like virtuals, AI16Z. I say low risk, they're more medium risks this late into the market. But if you do find them, they're a blessing, right? Because a lot of money just flows into them very fast. So yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. I mean, if it pushes up to $1,000, this would be, I'd sell everything here, regardless of what even happens with Trump. $1,000, it's not too bad. You know, if it reaches 1,000 from here, it's still 4.5k from $1,000, or it's 45k. It's just a big ask. It's going to need a lot of money to flow in to reach that target. But look how much money we've seen flow into XRP. The market cap on XRP is getting crazy, and we're seeing tons and tons of money flow into XRP. So it is possible. I just don't want to be too moon boy. And I would probably just sell when the SMC weekly breaks. Look at Solana, man. It's really getting ready to blow. Can you believe, after all of this news that come out about a Solana reserve, that we're still not at all-time high yet, right? This is why I said it's undervalued. I think the whales and institutions are going to accumulate. And if they wait till the inauguration and Trump starts dropping some crazy news about XRP and Solana, I think we're going to see loads of money flood in all of a sudden, and it might even be a good time to take some profits off the table, right? We're going to see loads of retail. Retail tend to buy when things are green. Like, they're not buying down here, guys. When things are pulling back and crashing, they're scared. Like here, we saw loads of fear in the markets on this pullback. A lot of people were saying they're selling their crypto, they're getting out of the market. Now everyone wants to buy again, and they're like, why didn't I buy, right? So retail will flood in when, believe it or not, when this is at like 300, 400, they'll be flooding in like crazy because they buy green candles, they buy pumps. They don't understand market caps. They just know that their favorite president has said that there's going to be a Solana altcoin reserve. So they download Coinbase, they put their savings into Solana, and the smart money dump on them and take profits, right? It's the same thing. It's kind of a Ponzi scheme. It's an exchange of wealth from the inexperienced to the experienced. It's a sad game, really, but that's how it works, right? That's how the market cycles work. And I do think we've had one hell of a bull run so far. I mean, look at this, man. Look at this run we've had. And I do think we are going to run out of steam on some of this upside at some point. When's that going to be? Nobody knows. Again, going to be watching the bot. And I do think we are going to cool down, and everybody says this. Everybody says this each cycle, but they say, "Oh, I think we're going to have less of a pullback." I was in the camp that we are going to see an 80% correction. Everything's going to come down 80-90%. But if there is altcoin reserves and the president has a crypto company and everybody's changing the crypto laws, it is a different cycle, okay? We have to admit it is a very different cycle to previous cycles. Last cycle was predominantly retail, and that's why we did have these 18 to 90% capitulations, because retail tend to sell close to the bottom. They sell when their bags are down 80%, 90%, right? And then they FOMO back in when it's all pumping. So we're not going to have, or it's likely we're not going to have, that retail mentality this cycle. We're going to have institutions and funds holding. So are we going to see an 80% correction on Bitcoin? Are we going to see an 80-90% correction on Solana and XRP? I don't know, guys. It's going to be very difficult to try and trade that in the bear market, especially if a strategic reserve is approved, because if a strategic reserve is approved, the whole game changes, because Bitcoin might not even be below 100k in the bear market. I don't know what's going to happen in a bear market. If there's a strategic reserve and America are putting in money after money after money every quarter, and who's going to sell, right? Who's going to sell? The institutions, the funds, the pension funds. This seems like a 5 to 10 year play by all of them, and I think they're about to market it to retail. So I'm going to do another video on that, because I think something's going to happen this bear market that is going to really put a lot of light on Bitcoin. I think the stock market's going to crash, but if they prove strategic reserve, Bitcoin might just keep going up. It might just keep going up in the stock market crash, because the government just keep buying, and every other government has to keep buying, because you can't let America have all the Bitcoin, right? So this in turn might bring altcoins up, but probably not. You'll probably get some Michael Saylor movement where everyone says sell your altcoins for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin just keeps going up like this. I mean, that would be the best marketing campaign for Bitcoin, right? If the stocks were all going down and crashing and Bitcoin was just going up and up and up, right? So much money we're flooding. That's it for now, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to see my leverage trade alerts, join the Discord. There's a free link below, and then once you get in, you can level up if you want to. If you also want to see my buy and sell alerts, so if you want to see my alerts here, you can see everything in my Discord after you join the Patreon, and you can see my full portfolio, everything I'm buying, everything I'm selling, and yeah, we're doing some really cool stuff at the moment, which I'll talk about more in the coming weeks. But don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of these videos. Until then, I'll catch you in the next one.